So then we're going to find out. Let's get underway with the second map of our grand final here with Demo and Ollie.
Thank you very much, Riley. This could be where the journey ends for both FaZe and Team One here. A FaZe win would see them take this 2-0. Team One hanging in the balance. They need a result here. Look at Alamau with the reference. This is what I mean about the meme culture inside of Brazil. They are just
Alamau. It's just Alamau.
They are so on the meme culture, it's untrue. Bans the Capital because that's who Cyber obviously plays quite a bit. We've seen that over the course of the weekend and through the regular stage. And then Alamau throws in the funky bans. I'm telling you,
funky bans.
They're operating on a new level.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we're going to see Gig at the major.
True, the king of funky bands.
Any more funky bands from Gig, perhaps? I still find it crazy that for the major, we know 2 of the APAC teams out of 4. We know all of the LATAM teams, and we only know 1 EU and only 1 NA team at this stage.
Certainly makes it exciting, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And it's a tight race. I really don't know who's going to go. If I'm a betting man, I'd say Empire will be there. I think I'd like to see Empire anyway at the major.
I mean, does it matter who's going from any other region, Demo? Because surely LATAM are going to win it again.
Even though I'm casting LATAM, you still cannot bribe me. You still cannot bribe me. I'm still EU. I'll always be EU. You're not going to change that. Nobody will change that.
Well, maybe we have to have a chat with producer Simon after the show and see.
I'm not going to end up like you and Tim.
See if
I'm not ending up.
Else.
That's fine. No problem.
Get a substitute teacher in for a few weeks.
What sub?
I mean, to be fair, the BR6 broadcast, it basically is like substitute teacher week anyway, every week. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we get away with. So it really wouldn't make any difference.
Yep. Obviously, I feel, to be fair, I feel as if I've been the sub for the past 3 years.
That's true.
Every time, I'm just getting bullied, aren't I? Just, you know.
You just need to commit to LATAM.
By the kids.
Just commit to LATAM. That's all you got to do. It won't do you too wrong. We see the Ying ban come out as well. I mean, you think we talk about funky bands, the Ying being removed as well. It's a bit of a Team One special. I'm surprised we've not seen the Blitz ban, honestly. Alamau,
I'm surprised we didn't see the Ela ban.
I mean, Alamau strikes fear into the hearts of men on this map with Blitz. What a great shot there from Sol to open things up. He is not striking the fear into anybody. Yeah, just sat down straight away. Funky bands or not.
Apologise to him.
All right. It's going to be one of those games.
Bit of a frag fiesta. This is something that FaZe did this week whenever they played Oregon, is that they kind of went for this heavy roam game for a basement, where they had, like, what was it, 4 people off site at a time, and they leave the freezer hatch open, so it gives them an exit, gives them a way out. And really what that does, Team 1, is obviously it's going to force them for some time, but oh my word, 2 kills come out of nowhere. Great shot from Souls again. This looks as if it's going to be amping up to be one of his games, and this is a good map for Souls. I think back to a lot of times where he has had good situations, but just let him run around on the Mozzie, having the oNe. He's always going to get something with that gun.
The oNe is the weapon of choice at the moment for everybody. Gotta provide you with something. ADS and Lagonis. Long way to go here. Lagonis going to be making his way down back stairs. You really worry about Team One's ability to coordinate around here. It suffered very similar. It's been a carbon copy, essentially, of how they played over on Club. And the fact that they've started off on the attack here really isn't making anything easy for them. Because they suffered so greatly on the attack on Club that how and why is this going to be all too much different? We're at the minute mark. That nade was unfortunate from KDS. Astro's taken down Lagonis, and he's made it a 1 versus 4. KDS could honestly just do worse than hold the angle now and just hope and pray that FaZe get itchy feet. But we know what FaZe are like at the moment. They're a patient side. Gone are the days where 4 bodies would be getting thrown at this final kill. That just isn't a factor. People are sat watching hatches. People are relaxing. People are knowing, yo, this round is coming our way. And that's okay. We don't need to rush this. We've only got to wait 20 seconds, and it's going to taste just as sweet when it does inevitably come.
From KDS, and Cyber will take a trip up the stairs, but that trip has been short-lived. KDS, can he pull off anything? Nope. FaZe Clan, I think, always were going to win that round. It's only a matter of time before that last man topples over and crashes down. Again, another good start from FaZe Clan. Little trouble. Weren't really pressured one bit, and you have to kind of now look at Team One and think, okay, we need something. Okay, sure, Clubhouse, that was their pick, fair enough. This is their map. They picked this. We need to start seeing something happen, because Team One, if we were to now kind of accumulate the rounds, they haven't won one in, what, like 6 rounds now? They haven't won a round?
It's certainly getting on, and it's not a great sign. No, they didn't win an attack on Clubhouse at all, because it was a 7-2. They're not going to be able to win a series by not being able to pull an attack round out of somewhere. Quite strange. FaZe have actually gone to meeting second choice. Now, either the Galaxy Brain, and they know that Alamau was 6 picking onto the book in anticipation for them going upstairs to kids' dorms. Alamau on the book is just a menace on Oregon. It's really where he made his name back in sort of stage 1 of getting underneath inside of kitchen and ripping up the floor inside of kids and dorms. That isn't going to be a factor as much here. Sure, you can use it to get a bit of control the opposite way. You can go and take upstairs and then look to pressure in through attic, etc. But realistically, it isn't going to be too much of a factor here. The book would be much better used attacking into dormitories. As it stands, FaZe have hit the debate. It's not something that teams often do either, Demo. Teams are very strict usually in laundry and then kids' dorms. They'll very seldom go to the third choice site on Oregon as a second pick.
Again, maybe FaZe are feeling pretty confident that they can use do a full rotation in terms of defenses, so they're not really... They can go to that bomb site, they can go to the kitchen dining. Doesn't matter to FaZe. Right now, they are feeling confident, and I think quite rightly so. Their defenses have looked very, very impressive. Actually, let me go get the actual stats for how they've done this week in defenses, because it just looks as if they've been untouchable.
Definitely got it very tight indeed. Attic being opened up here. Levy going to be taking a bit of an angle through there. Bullet does get chunked down. I don't think anybody's going to know where cameraman is, though. Just hiding out on the bottom of Armory stairs. Still, the back wall hasn't been opened yet, although Levy's going to be turning his attention there right now. Likely going to try and delete the wall. The mute jammer being placed there can cause problems for the Hibana, but not the blowtorch of Maverick. Wall slowly but surely getting deleted here. A little bit of a nade hole coming through as well. Need some soft breach now to finish the job there. And all of a sudden, Cyber's going to be in a pretty ropey position. It has actually just been shot at, but we will eventually see Neskin come in and sledgehammer that clean open. The clear mark of intent from Team 1 as to where they want to be trying to push this now, and FaZe can start to adjust accordingly. They haven't got anybody below with a C4, which is a little bit strange. Cameraman, as I say that, is going to be making that very rotation. Inside a laundry now, just cautiously moving through. As the hatch is, of course, open inside a meeting, we will be able to play C4 from below.
FaZe have only lost 9 defensive rounds in all of their games, and they've played a boatload of matches, at least over 40 rounds we're looking at there that they've actually played of Siege. So in terms of defense, they have had a great time for it. It looks to be a similar story for them again, in a great position now, a 5 versus 2. Diffuser cold on the kitchen doorway, and Team 1 just very slow. Not a lot going for them. They haven't got the kills. Their refry game has been pretty poor.
Oh,
Astro,
wow.
That is slippery. And he's managed to absolutely tear KDS a new one. Alamau, what can he do? Not a lot in this position. 1v5, 15 seconds. Doesn't have the diffuser. He had the stats. Can he get 1 kill for his troubles? You can see there's just a theory that somebody could be swinging him, but look at FaZe. Always so patient, waiting for the right opportunity, and cameraman will strike at that. 2-0, FaZe, flawless defense.
Flawless round coming in for FaZe. Very well deserved indeed. There was a team kill there with a nade, which always adds on, I guess, to the the pain that Team One are feeling at the moment. But you can't take anything away from the FaZe boys for the way that they conducted that round. You mentioned at the time, slippery from Astro. I mean, that's one way of putting it. I think jammy could be another.
Yeah.
Skillful could also be thrown into the mixture. There's numerous different words that you could use to describe the way that he played there. But a lot of players would have messed that up, especially with how little he actually had to work with in the moment. But he got the job done nonetheless. FaZe looking pretty untouchable here. Clearly feeling themselves today. 2 kills is all that Team One have to show for 2 rounds of play so far here on Oregon. Both of them come from KDS. Neither kill having significant impact. They're both in round number 1. 1 versus X situation for KDS to be in anyway. Where does the bleeding stop? Team One, they need to find the bandage. They need to put some pressure on the wound and figure out just what it is that's going wrong here for them, because their approaches at the moment aren't yielding any fruit at all, and FaZe are just doing whatever they like here. They are commanding the pace in every sense of the word.
One, I mean, their lineup, Ollie, has been fairly consistent, and it's a good lineup for really any bomb site you want to attack for Oregon, but just really struggled. Look, almost finding an opening C4 kill onto KDS would have been massive for FaZe, and yes, he's just... What is going on? He cannot catch a break this game whatsoever. Souls is now rotating Echo Drone to try and support Cyber. Look at this from FaZe, Ollie. The aggression. They are not giving Team One a moment of anything. They're not letting them breathe.
They're not even giving them free access into the building. They can't even initiate that sort of pressure from the start. Another nade going to get cooked here, but the Wamai Magnet will probably regen in time, so you know that the player's going to be safe there. Alamau does get a chance there, pops the splash, and will be successful this time. Cyber isn't able to connect with the shotgun. For the first time in what feels like an age, we see an opening kill going in favor of Team One.
Team One have something to play off, and maybe this could be an opening to get their first round on their attacks today. Never count FaZe out at the moment. Still in good positions. This man in kitchen will cause them some problems, I'm sure. Will be in reinforcing. Gonna have to maybe rotate Bonus over to open that up. Taking some breaching power to the actual main generator wallet we're used to seeing. Bullet, his barricade's been opened up by his teammate from above, and that's gave him a way out of kitchen. Now he's slipped into meeting. That is good teamwork from FaZe, and it keeps their man alive. And if Bullet isn't going to be locked down and really pursued by Team One, that C4 in his back pocket could be a game changer.
ADS going to try and nade through there. Yeah, the site is going to be upstairs, so attentions do soon need to be turned, and that is exactly what's going to start happening now. Lagona shuts Astro down from big window. The pressure provided from the angle, able to put the site into Bullet feeling the pinch and trophy, as well as Neskin. Looks as though he could be framing up for a jump in. Still players inside of kids that need to be dealt with here. Souls, nice long angle in from pit onto that double window. He's going to do quite a lot of work here to deter anybody from the side of Team One pushing in. Conscious of the window play, narrowly escapes the engagement, but is seeing a lot of pressure now. As Bullet has a chance. He's going to miss the shots though as Levy shuts him down. This is even more crucial now that Team One lock this one up, and they will do just exactly that. They flip the switch and they're able to pull a flawless of their own here inside of round 3.
Yeah, much better from Team One. The confidence kind of just ignited them with that first opening kill, and they look as if they're really getting their heads screwed on and are really concentrating on seeing those round out and not allowing FaZe to really retake that. So all credit to Team One. That is what we expect from them. That's the standard that they set. However, they now have to attack this basement again for FaZe, which has been very successful from them. I like this idea of starting off very heavy in the roam game. It's worked well for them. They've been able to take these engagements against Team One and win them consistently.
I don't think that that's going to have done anything significant to deter FaZe and the confidence that they've got at the moment, but it might do something to give Team One a little bit, which is the crucial thing at the moment, because as you mentioned a couple of rounds ago, Demo, that's their first round in a really long time. It was a 4-2 split to FaZe coming out of the half on club, and they didn't win a round since then. So that's their first round in quite a large amount of rounds inside of the context of this series, probably getting up to 8 rounds. High time that they've managed to find one eventually. Again, going for a slightly different approach here. We've got Alamau on the Nook, so we're going to be bringing the grenade. We've seen him play the Flores a couple of times, but honestly, hasn't seen any value out of the Rotero drone, so it doesn't really shock me too much to see him make the change here when attacking back downstairs in 100. Although the Rotero drones are fantastic pieces of utility, and you can do a lot to remove that defender utility, if you're not going to be using them, there's really no point in bringing them.
Yeah, it has been something that we've kind of questioned Alamau. You know, he has went for these dangerous plays. You look at the clubhouse round and in the final round on that Jim and Bedroom attack. Guy was entering with Flores and swinging door frames at 1 minute 40 into the heart of the bomb site, and he was expecting to get away from it. This is what I like a lot better from Team 1. They're not playing into the hands of FaZe. They're playing much more patient. They're not trying to rush things. And I feel that FaZe maybe got carried away themselves. FaZe seeing that Team 1 were going gun-ho, you know, very quick, very aggressive, and FaZe were able to use this roam game to their advantage and pick them off one by one. Team 1 have slowed down things extremely well to set their own tempo. As an attacker, you are the side that sets the pace and how the round's going to play out. All defense can do is set up and hope for the best. That's what defenders do. All pressure comes down to the attackers, but they do have a lot of control.
Last minute laser gate there, just getting placed for the electrical hatch drop if it does come through. Bit of a risky play there. Cameraman to remove the drone. Ready and waiting with the C4. That's going to fly up. It's not going to dish any damage out, though. Neskin does manage to dodge that one. Nades now can start to be cooked. Cyber still holding onto the hatch. Could get a chance here. I'm sure he will have got a glimpse there. Puts a couple of shots down, but the way the vertical angles work is that one on top is always going to have the advantage, and Alamau sees that advantage and takes it. Cameraman now is almost certainly done for as well, but no, we'll be able to find the feet there of Alamau. Finding that angle. Iana clone removed. Cameraman still trying to aggress on. Toxic Babe canister going to go out. It's going to be his last here, but at the minute mark, he can afford to do just exactly that. He's cut off a lot of pushing power there from Team 1 and being able to hold on to that. Team 1 have actually rotated off this, so they're no longer looking to try and push down the freezer, which is a little bit unusual given how much pressure they've actually applied there, and realistically how close they've been to actually removing Cameraman from that post. He hasn't got a lot of health left. It would be quite easy to challenge onto him from there, but with the diffuser cold, Team 1 needs to come up with an alternate strategy here. Pocket reinforcement there getting placed out by Astro as well as players further retreat back into the safety of the site. Levy, next player to find a kill onto Cameraman, finishing off what was started earlier as Astro comes in with a direct 1-for-1 trade. 15 seconds left. Astro's about to be pinched here, and Souls isn't in position to assist. Grabs one onto KDS. The diffuser in the hands of Lagonis could start to go down right about now, and it will do so. Neskin cuts off with a nade beautifully. Souls can't make that rotation, and the plant will likely go down. Neskin picks the kill regardless. Great late round switch around from Team 1.
A little bit sketchy for them, only 40 seconds left. Didn't have any real control of the bomb site. As soon as that reinforcement went up an elbow, did you see how quick Team 1 were to react? They know straight away, that guy's reinforcing. That's one less person that could be holding an angle onto the hatch drop. And straight away, they were in, they were down on pillar, they got their control. Bit of questionable play there from Souls, I would say. Was watching out for a freezer. Nobody was freezer. Nobody was going that side of the map. Because he wasn't watching the long corridor, there was a deployable shield that he could have used to hold that long. It meant that the other guy inside the Aruni could not fight both those angles. One was pushing E-box, one was pushing long corridor. It's a 50-50. Very, very difficult. If Souls was in that position to deny access to that long push, that round probably would have went to FaZe in that scenario.
Team 1 seemed to have awoken here, Demo. I was honestly wondering at the end of Club if we were just going to see a quick 2-0 in terms of map count. And it was just going to be, yeah, said and done. We just sort of write this one off. But come out fighting here. 2 rounds on the trot. Looking now to try and make it 3. could very well get what we've been asking for all weekend, which is a full 3-map series. I'd love to see both these teams go at it on Villa. And Team 1 chalk more rounds up on the attack. It becomes more of a possibility here. They're going to be defending a meeting again. This was their second choice site in their first rotation round. It will be their second choice again here on their second. It was a round that didn't really give too much issue. Team 1 were able to get a couple of things open. They were able to get open onto that rear stage wall. They were able to apply a little bit of pressure here and there, but ultimately it was a round that did fall apart. See how they choose to approach this time. I imagine very similarly. A bit more focus maybe on that basement level. Cameraman was more than happy to rotate and be that player with the C4 below in the previous round.
Team 1, very minimalistic in terms of what they're actually taking in towards Big Tower. I mean, it's pretty expected. You don't see a lot of teams, if you're going solely Big Tower, have any interest in taking his bedroom control or maybe taking it towards lobby. You wouldn't really see that. A lot of teams will just take from what they need, and realistically, all you need is attic open and that main breach open. That is it. One thing that I do like, though, from FaZe is they have reinforced that attic hatch. A lot of defenders would actually have that open because then probably your thought process is, oh, if we have that hatch open and they don't have attic, then we can just stop them from planting and stop them from actually running in the breach. Thing is, though, with that, Ollie, is if a team, which is 99% of the time, open up attic, and that means that they will have the hatch, therefore Cyber cannot play in that position that he is located in. So there obviously there's going to be pros and cons, but probably the smartest thing to do is reinforce it.
Especially if you're not going to commit anyone to stay in there forever. You know, you mentioned a team like Liquid, for example. Liquid are going to hold that attic all day long. But that's not FaZe's intention here, and you can see that with where they're playing. It does make sense to try and remove that as a possibility. Great couple of nades come through there to remove Cyber. So a juiced up dot or not, it is not going to be enough. Cameraman can now look to make this rotation. He knows that a plant is on the cards here. Only 35 seconds left for Team 1 to make something happen. Bit of drone work going on as Lagonis looks to push through, but straight into Astro's pre-fire. He's going to fall as C4 will come out, swinging, and will land. Immediately traded out, though. Neskin, great heads-up play there. Toxic Babe canister now to cause a little bit of further confusion. It's not going to cut anything off at the moment. It's going to deny a little bit of a line of sight as well. Bullet, he's going to get sat down. Neskin knew exactly where he was. Neskin's really firing on all cylinders this round. Now the diffuser's getting Toxic Babe canister gassed, and no one's going to be able to secure it safely. KDS chunked down in the process. Neskin's picked up 4. How has he gotten away with this? Astro more preoccupied with the drone than the fact the plant's going down on the 0-second mark. Lands a couple of shots and gets the job done. Takes down Neskin. Downs the planter in KDS. Finishes him off. Quad kill for quad kill. Back and forth. These two teams battling it out. The BM from Astro coming out. He needs to hit that defuse.
Oh, mind exploded. That is so close. You can see Neskin at the end, Ollie. He was almost, you know, it was like something out of a superhero movie where the hero has just lunged himself in front of the damsel in distress to take up the bullets.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. It did not matter at all. Oh, that's a stinger for Team 1. Neskin played out of his skin that round. My oh my. So one thing that I want to highlight in that round was the hatch. Not the attic hatch, the below hatch, the one in E-box. That hatch got value from both sides. Very interestingly enough, we've seen Neskin use that hatch to throw nades into the position that we've seen Cyber playing. So the dot, you're able to lob the nades and really utilize that angle that you can gain. But then we also seen the defenders utilize that hatch by throwing their own projectiles up. We've seen a C4 come up from the Mozzie. Phenomenal work from both sides to really make use of that great hatch, and it is very interesting to see that hatch be massive for both sides. I think that's a great thing to point out.
A real case of anything you can do, I can do better there from Astro. Battling it back for Neskin, blow for blow, bar for bar. Great stuff to see. Back downstairs now as FaZe try and, not quite salvage, but try and maintain a lead here. They've defended very well so far on Oregon. A chance for them to hit the 4-2 split, the good old fabled 4-2 that you ought to be hitting as a defender. Team One were successful last time attacking this site. See if that last round has fired them up equally. Gonna feel pretty good no matter which side you're on. Obviously, it's a bit of a stinger for Team One that they weren't able to get it over the line, but it was a great attempt. They know that they're not too far off the pace here. They can catch FaZe up. Got to play some good siege.
Team One maybe staggered them just a little bit around it. Should have went their way. It looks as if they're going to resort back to the old Team One where they want to get in and get the job done. A laundry rush is on the cards right now. KDS drops to the floor as Cyber went for a swing, but that smoke will delay the time indefinitely for them. Neskin will swing and eliminate Bullet through the Toxic Babe cover, but Souls just swings for all he's worth. Almost pre-fires a position and catches Lagones. Alamo, what's he going to do? Tosses some flashbangs down in and will drop into Freezer. Souls almost finds him as well. Cyber gets his first kill of the game, and it will be on to KDS. Souls finds another. Him and this Mozzie, what a love story that they have. Levy, what can you do? A 1v4. Ollie, it's a big ask, but maybe something could come off it.
Anyone can clutch. This is what we keep telling everybody. Anybody can clutch on their given day, but FaZe circling like sharks right now. Astro, he's going to get sat down as he quickly peeks onto the angle. Wasn't anticipating Levy to be exactly there. Toxic Babe canister being used just to add confusion into the mixture. Levy doesn't have the diffuser. Going for a little bit of a rotation. Gets himself into kitchen. The vertical angle is being held. Great game sense here by FaZe and cameraman. Played the hatch beautifully there. Good little heads-up play. When the going gets tough for Team One, they will do one of two things. Often they will just try and throw the kitchen sink at the round. And I get the impression that that's what they tried to do there. They went for a rush. It's almost that frustration that sort of boils over at points where you do get, air quotes, robbed of a round and something that maybe looks like it should have gone your way didn't. You've got to get that frustration and anger out somewhere, and sometimes it manifests in a rush round. It manifests in, we've just got to try and get this one over the line. They won't be expecting it. It's the last round of the split. Well, FaZe were expecting it, and they were there ready to respond. They were able to get a good number of those kills. You mentioned Souls playing on the P10. Anybody on the P10 is going to be a menace, but someone like Souls even more so. I think he's double positive at the minute, 6 and 3, something like that. Great first phase. Great first split for FaZe. And now we move. Team One on the defense. Fighting for their spot here. Fighting for a chance of being the winners here today, the Copa Elite 6. And if you're a betting man at the moment, your money has to be on FaZe, given that they've got map 1 already. They're 2 rounds up here going in to their attacking phase. They need an equal 3-3 split. That's all, Demo.
Yep. And it's very, very possible for FaZe. I think their attacks have been very stable in Oregon. But maybe this is where we can see Team One come into their own. We talked about the clutch potential that Team One have in the defense. You said anyone can clutch. Whenever I think of that, Ollie, I think of, you've seen the film Ratatouille?
I've actually not seen it, and it's one that I do need to watch because a lot of people bring it up.
Me a new I can't make references with this guy.
I'm a bit older than you, Demo, don't forget.
That movie came out in like 2007. You weren't that old. You were only like 35.
I mean, I probably had a beard and like was at the pub or something.
You had a beard since you were 8. That's what you had. But no, but in that film, it's the saying, anyone can cook. I think in the Team One case, anyone can clutch. So that's what I thought whenever I heard that from you.
I love that. That's like some really infusing words to tell like an up and comer that is like struggling in ranked. It's like anyone can clutch. Don't worry. Oof, Alamo sits Bullet down there, playing the cameraman position at the bottom of these freezer stairs, assisted with the Whammy. Maybe like your Monty to be making those sort of challenges. Big shield. It's good for keeping yourself safe.
It is. It is indeed. And fortunately, though, the shield is having the same impact that you would probably expect it to be. mean, FaZe aren't really the team that you would associate with a monty. It's not the kind of playstyle that we're used to seeing from them. Sure, they want to bring out a monty to, you know, test something new, which keep in mind, Ollie, definitely these teams can try something new out that they want to. You know, both of them have got what they wanted, which is that spot to Sweden. Maybe this is where we're seeing a new ideology for FaZe. Still going with the kind of same approach of, yeah, let's get E-Box open first of all, and then we'll start looking at using the utility and start rotating players around everywhere. Goes the hatch. That does give them their beachhead. It gives them an area that they can start moving in from. I wonder if they're just going to maybe send the monty towards blue, which I think would probably be the best area from him. You just walk in, no real issues. There's no shield on elbow. Actually, it looks as if the smoke had rotated the shield, and they're going to rotate the shield back to the same position, right in front of the monty. Brilliant work from Team One. Genius from them to just have the nerve. You know what? Let's just pick it back up. Let's put it right in front of them. Let them know that the shield is back up. And right now, FaZe, they're going to be in for a lot of trouble because they cannot take elbow control, and they really have nothing to play off right now.
Ballsy move there from Team One to move the shield. Will it pay off for them? 25 seconds. Astro grabs one onto KDS. He is really on the fringes of the site here, playing inside of Harry Potter. Alamau could try and rotate back into site. Cyber just misses a couple of shots there. He's got a narrow window to land them, but eventually goes for the swing. Astro's in sight, and he's causing all sorts of damage. We've suffered a team kill from Team One, but is it going to matter? Cameraman, he's going to be starting to get that plant down. Cyber trying his best to cover. Look at the LMG go here. Finds one onto Levy. It's Lagodis is the last remaining player, the player that committed the unthinkable team kill, and he's now going to try and defuse. He's not got a clue which way to turn. Cameraman finds the final kill there.
Ollie, I'd like to report a crime. How?
911, what's your emergency?
There's a robbery that's just happened. I've just seen 4 men walk away with a round that was not theirs. I have no idea how FaZe have pulled that one out. They had nothing going for them. They had 30 seconds. Sure, they killed one guy in the bottom of the tower stairs, and that was it. There was still full elbow control for Team One. I don't know how that happened, but all credit Cyber, Ollie. It's as if he was told cover and fire,
yeah,
and he just let it rip.
Yeah, it was a full-on. We need backup in Sector 7. You know, we've got a problem in Sector 7. We need backup. We need the big guns. We need the LMGs to crack out.
Whoop whoop! There's the sound of Cyber. My word.
Unbelievable stuff, and it was. I always doubt a player going on a shield when they're doing really well inside of a game. You look at Astro, who was 10-3 going into that round, 11-4 now. He got 1 kill and died, so it's whatever. It's largely irrelevant. But the fact of the matter is, head and shoulders above anybody else in terms of kills on FaZe currently. So I always worry when I see them play a shield, because I'm always like, oh, you're hitting your shots today. Like just hit your shots. Take a good gun and go and hit some more shots. But he played that monty beautifully. The way that he was able to force and really corral Team One in terms of moving them and herding them around, and then just being that scary, scary prospect of being pushed by a monty that's all of a sudden dropping his shield and starting to hip fire at you or whatever it might be. Really did a lot to provide the pressure. And then Cyber and the LMG really did the rest there. A round that FaZe didn't look like they were going to come away with, but made it 5 versus 2 now. Where have we been here before, Demo?
I mean, at this stage, it is becoming not more of a, okay, our Team One, when are Team One going to get these rounds and start winning back? It's more of a, when are FaZe just going to finish it? Because it has kind of turned into an affair, Ollie, where I think FaZe have just looked so dominant on Clubhouse, on Oregon, and they haven't really shown any sign that they're going to let up anytime soon.
So it's Simpsons meme time almost, isn't it?
Just a waiting game. That's all. It's just a waiting game. When is the final hammer going to strike for Team One? When is their journey here in this week, the Copa Elite 6? When's it going to be over?
Nade's coming down here. That nade actually
run away.
Clutched into the Whammy. That's one of the reasons why you maybe want to not use a Whammy disc for that. Yeah. Alamau suffers the fate. Bullet is going to be finding himself one onto Levy as well, as Levy mindlessly challenges onto it. Cyber is able to be picked up and is able to juice himself back to full. Massive oversight there. Great placement for a oNe, but not if they're going to be throwing nades at you.
Nope. A lot of nades being brought in the lineup. This is where we're used to seeing the Iana and Finka just so aggressive in how you can clear out really certain holes, and especially for Freezer, you can really dominate. Ollie, this is usually a bomb site which it gets more difficult as time goes on for the attackers. If you're going for Laundry Freezer, it's very easy to gain control of Freezer, as was discovered. Very easy to take control of Laundry, but the actual execute is quite difficult. The difference is that we're seeing in this round compared to, I would say, more of the basic rounds that we see. It's a 3v5 instead of the usual 5v5. That's the game changer. KDS, a great time swing. Astra goes down, and that's probably because Lagonis is holding on to that double door. Lagonis just lets him walk in. But doesn't give himself away, though. Cameraman now flipping left to right, and somehow we're seeing Team 1 battle back. Where did Cyber come from? He dropped the back catch in hopes of gaining a big kill. Neskin, another great rotate. Team 1, Ollie. They're just taking these engagements and winning them time after time.
Souls is able to find one before being immediately traded. Neskin, right place, right time. Great rotation there into Freezer. Sketchy stuff coming down to a 1 versus 1. I think that FaZe really just started to throw bodies at the problem there, and that was not the answer. They had a 5 versus 3 going into that, and they were still looking for direct pressure in through both Freezer and Laundry. At that point in the round, when you've got control that early, there's got to become a moment where you go, let's just send one person, 2 people. Let's try and switch our focus here, because it's going to be much easier to try and approach from blue and rear stairs if they are depleted. They can't watch every angle, especially if they think we're coming through Freezer Laundry. The angles that can be played defending Freezer Laundry, it's demonstrated there just how strong they can be. Incredible play from Team 1 to try and hold on. Again, a really back and forth round, but FaZe just kind of just throwing bodies at a problem. They've got a couple of rounds to play with. They can afford to drop 1 or 2 here or there, but it really looked like it was in the bag, especially after how quickly they took control of Freezer.
They were rapid. They didn't waste anything. Resorting back to Monty again. This time it's a different experience for them. And also one thing I have noticed is Alama was playing, you know, a bit more of a support-orientated job in the defense last round. Look what he's slipped into, Ollie. Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
It's also a Cyber special. We didn't get to see Cyber play it. I think Cyber really pioneered it. Obviously, it's not the. I don't think he's going to be the first player in the world to do it. I think the first player I saw do it was Tiger out of the Nordic League, and then we started sort of seeing it trickle through here and there. Cyber started doing it.
I think of Aces who used to play in Fnatic.
Yeah.
Back in those days, jumping out off the Oregon. It was in the same map. This map right now, it was the old Oregon on the Armory, where whenever they went up against EG in that historic match where EG got tested by a coach.
Alamal's deadly with it though. Really good with the FO12. Also really good with the pistol, which helps if you're going to be taking a shotgun of that nature. KDS, star of the show again in this one. Picking up the opener over onto Astro. Levy will be playing inside of Attic. Cameraman's unaware that he will be there, trying to get this wall open. We'll do just exactly that. Nade getting prepped now to be sent on in. He does get caught out in the Wamai. There's a lot of utility here inside of the Attic as well. There's a Yokai drone on the ceiling. A couple of Wamai discs dotted around. Not going to be an easy place to take through.
No, it's not. It's going to be quite difficult. A lot of utility is going to have to be used. I think this is where Wamai Jaeger does become a bit of an issue for attackers. But again, I mean, FaZe, they do have plenty of utility. You have flashbangs on the Thermite to burn through them. Obviously, Sophia brings a lot of utility alongside that, and the nades. I mean, primarily you would want to keep the nades to try and get kills, especially in towards Attic. So that's probably what they're going to try and end up for. So I think we'll see Cameron play a big part. He needs to play a big part. He needs to try and take that Attic. Really, FaZe don't want to put any kind of pressure onto the actual bomb site.
Well, he's going to start trying to do so, pushing through aggressively, but straight into the line of sight of Levy. Another player for FaZe falls without response here. Alamau, dangerous position to be in, playing close on the breach with the shotgun. Souls is going to be stunned by the Yokai drone. We can see another one hopping up there just on the other side of the breach. Alamau playing the doorway. Great. Easiest shot of his life. He's going to be able to shut down Souls there Thank you very much. That's diffuser down as well. Can look to aggress on through. Look how much work this Yokai drone is putting in. Cyber, though, picks up 2 and immediately flips the pace of the round. Opens things up for Bullet. Allows him to move through to collect the downed diffuser. He can look to try and push his way on through. There's going to be a Malusi on the sofa, which could be a bit of a problem for him. He'll be able to remove that, though. KDS finds one, and the second great swing from KDS. And we're going to get to see both of them here. Live Zed pings for him to work with. Easy as you like.
So easy. So easy for Team One. And now they're back in it. Firmly back in the race. 1 round is all that separates FaZe and Team One. FaZe Clan starting to let things slip a little bit. They've lost the basement attack, and now they've lost the top floor. However, they will now be attacking onto the tertiary bomb site, the third pick choice for Team One. It's going to be the kitchen dining. Usually, meeting has been the more favored out of the two. But again, still viable, but I think a little bit less viable over time as things have kind of developed. I think the fact that teams find it very easy to gain, small tower control. And once you have small tower control, you can also do some vertical action, and opening the breach is very, very easy. And you can get some nice plant positions, again, some nice blind spots more than anything. The biggest thing that defenders have going for them is the actual showers area. That's going to be a portion of the map that will be heavily contested by either side. Shower corridor is another area that needs to be respected by both attackers and defenders. We've seen so many times defenders just slip into that position and swing onto the openings whenever the shower gets breached open. Kind of moseys on down to the double door, looking into small tower. And defenders being able to pick up, a killer kill there and here. 2 kills, 3 kills, has been really decisive, groundbreaking moments in rounds. So just have to be careful of that area of the map, and don't be surprised if you see an attacker let that slip, because there is about 4 different angles you need to kind of watch for this bomb site. So it can be difficult to cover all of them.
Confidence surely at an all-time high here for Team One. It's the closest they've gotten to leveling things up and actually taking a lead here in this series. FaZe need to try and focus in now as the round advantage that they had coming off the defense is starting to slowly but surely slip, and the tertiary site, a good opportunity for them to retake that. You don't seem to have seen much aggression coming from FaZe. They've sort of regressed into that more calculated version of themselves, which, whilst that is entirely fine, the aggression was working actually quite well for them. It's instead flipped. It's Team One that are looking for these aggressive early engagements. Bullet not having the best time at the moment, or a 9, especially when we know what he's capable of and what he was doing over on Clubhouse. Not ideal. Finds himself first picked here by Alaman.
FaZe again going into half round out of man. Bullet gone, hasn't had the greatest of games on Oregon, only 4-9, a bit quiet for his usual caliber. Been Astro doing a lot of heavy lifting, of course. That great quad kill he had was sublime to watch. FaZe now will start to begin to clear out off the showers area, and they've done a good job at it so far. They've been able to push them out the actual showers, and now maybe thinking about going for a quick plant. Whenever you see smoke start to come in, they've also pinged to go for a plant default, but here comes the Warden. This is where Warden can play a big part, can see the Twitch as clear as day, and finds the second also. Lagonas now rushes up very, very close to the diffuser ollie. Wow, what a Warden, what a play!
You just don't get to see that. You very, very rarely get to see the Warden working in those sort of ways. Lagonas has played a blinder there. Taking his time, activating the glasses, standing still, being able to see through the smoke and get a good picture of just exactly what is going on in that moment. Team One, they level things up 5 rounds apiece. FaZe maybe looking to rush it. There was a lack of information there. I think if they'd have known that there was a Warden in play demo, they maybe would have thought twice before going for that kind of a smoke plant and really fully committing to it in the way that they did. Going to be moving downstairs into laundry.
Like you said, Ollie, you don't see that. And it was...
You don't see it. You don't get to see it.
It was the game changer. You could say that was the sole reason why they won that. Diffuser was about halfway down at that stage. You could see the idea FaZe were going for. They weren't really up for fighting. I think the fact that they lost the open engagement, all they wanted to do was get the defuse down. And they almost were very successful at doing so. I think FaZe were great at not only using the smokes to cover the planter, but also using that as almost a form of cover for everyone else to actually move into the bomb site and start engaging in towards showers. Kitchen was always going to be an issue. Whenever, you know, teams have kitchen control, you can't really move in dining because it's a massive open room and trying to challenge, you know, deployable shields in that position. It's not going to work for you. So using the cover the smokes, not only does it stop the vision, but it also kind of has a blanket, like a big massive, you know, cover, like a big shield you're kind of holding up yourself. So then you can swing onto the showers and take those engagements. Because realistically, the only thing that was going to kill the diffuser there was going to be somebody swinging on the showers. So if you take that engagement against showers, it's a foolproof plan. Unless the enemy team has a warden.
Pressure now is flipped as FaZe will start to feel it. Next round's very crucial indeed. Chance for either side to get themselves onto match point. Something that FaZe have struggled to do for the previous 3 rounds as Team One have been battling back. And a slightly different change of tactic here from Team One. Now they're defending downstairs, but they aren't defending the freezer in the same way. A big focus point from FaZe was taking into freezer and pushing in through laundry. Team One, strangely, aren't defending the freezer in the same fashion as we saw them do previously. There's still a presence in there, but Alamau isn't playing close up on the stairs with the shotgun this time. Instead, we've got ADS looking to get a bit aggressive on these rear stage stairs. Maybe we could be seeing a bit more of a electrical hatch and a bunker drop. Sorry, a hatch drop and a bunker push demo.
They're gearing up towards that side of things, and one issue that they will have to go against, of course, is that LS shotgun. It's not Alamau playing on it, though, which is probably the only surprise. It will be Lagonis. I suppose Lagonis does have the least amount of kills on the side. If you want to get kills, that's your best friend in this scenario. So, FaZe are just kind of feeling out Team One and kind of seeing what their attitude is. You know, last time they went for this attack, it was very gun-ho, very swing-heavy. Souls is using bullet as almost a bit of a peak shield, but maybe that was just bullet blocking the doorway for him. He couldn't get in. Going for these engagements, just spot out somebody. It will be Levy. As that deployable shield looking in towards him. That has to get eliminated. Look, roll in some utility, a nade goes in. Eliminate anything. We've got the Banshee though, Ollie. That's the only issue. And Astro actually takes the fight against the LS shotgun and wins it. Cyber also finds one, and now it will be a 3 versus 4 as KDS has found that long fight engagement. Neskin with another. However, Cameraman will find one. That's a 2 versus 3. Neskin does have control of that laundry rotate, firing as best as he can. Nades will be tossed in. Is that going to be a confirmed kill? Yes, it will be. Bullet being able to thread the needle, get that nade in, and wow, what a swing from Cameraman to finish things off. Team One have been crumbled this time around. It looks at FaZe. They weren't scared, Ollie. It was more of a case of swing or be swung, and they did all the swinging.
Swing or be swung. A very dangerous situation to find yourself in, and may the best shot win. In that case, it was FaZe. Able to get it over the line, able to confirm that match point. Can they convert it? It's going to be the big question here. This game has gone fairly back and forth for the last handful of rounds. And that phase was a phase that we'd seen more toward the start of the game demo and over on Clubhouse. A confident team that were clear in their plan and their execution. It was nice to see them entirely switch things up from the freezer laundry push, which, let's be honest, just did not work at all for them. And instead go for good old-fashioned stairs and bunker play. Really where the difference was made. Back downstairs we go. A very important round for Team One. If they lose this, that's it. Hopes and dreams over. Copa Elite 6 no longer a possibility. FaZe, it is within touching distance.
How's it gonna go? What are you thinking, Ollie? What does the feeling in your bones tell you?
Spider sense is tingling. I think we could be going all the way.
You think?
See, in my heart of hearts, I'm still wanting a villa.
Okay. Not bored of Villa after yesterday?
No, I'd give it another go.
Might go to overtime. I think there. I do think that it might be able to go overtime, but I think FaZe will take it there. FaZe will take the overtime. I'm feeling anyway. FaZe need to do. I mean, to avoid overtime, just win this round. FaZe. It's that simple. It is that simple. Win the round.
Look at how aggressive Cyber's playing already here. Team ONE are going for a much more full court defense. They've actually got players vying on stairs. They don't want to give anything away too early here. They just know what FaZe are going to do if they're given that opportunity. Eskin almost baiting here. Does have somebody laid down beside him. I think it's probably going to be Levy. Quickly getting themselves out of dodge there as the Wamai disc. They don't want to suffer the same fate as they did previously.
Using the drone hole as a little adaptation there. FaZe, knowing that Wamai disc could be located, of course, on theirs, and then that grenade kind of pulls it, and you can get a good catch on it. So, nice move from them. It does scare them, of course, away from the freezer stairs, and that lets them move down and take control of that room. Once again, looks as if FaZe are going to be gearing up for that laundry freezer take. It didn't work for them last time, but in previous renditions, it hasn't been the same case. It hasn't been the same story for them. Finally, FaZe have really only won on their basement attack. Anywhere else hasn't been successful.
They have struggled elsewhere. And it's almost strange to see them almost really trying to force this laundry take, this laundry and freezer take again. We're starting to see shields just be redeployed here as well. No, that's where the push is going to be coming in from now at the minute mark. It's all been fairly well decided, and everything can be rotated accordingly because of the lack of pressure onto the actual site. It's one of the bigger problems with going for this kind of a take. You don't get as much pressure as early on. Nade's starting to come on in now. Cameraman, going to be full white there inside of freezer. Nice air job there to try and zone out some players. Did get caught inside the ADS though. KDS going to kick things off with the kill on Cameraman. Toxic Babe canisters from Alamau as the Yokai drones also do their job here. Stunning Astro inside of freezer. A freebie for Cyber as he catches KDS lacking, but immediately taken down in the trade. Team ONE very well aware of what was coming up from behind there, and Bullet left in the clutches. 1 versus 3, 15 seconds left. Immediately shut down. We are going to an overtime here on Oregon.
Team ONE holding down the fort. Andre successfully defend for them for the second time. Cyber made a great play. Hitting them from the backside all was a great idea.
Beautiful stuff.
But then why did he just sprint down the stairs as if there wasn't going to be anyone else to challenge?
Well, it was... Do you not think it is a little bit strange that there was somebody in bunker?
No.
I still think that's a little bit strange.
The reason why is that guy playing bunker is he can obviously hold down what he just got the kill from, but then he can also swing on to that elbow rotate and challenge onto the freezer door. So that's usually a position that we see. You can also then play the E-box souls, and if anyone rushes deep into the actual site, you can pick them up also.
What I'm trying to tell you is that I think the same way as Cyber. It's like one mind. What's your thought on FaZe getting the attack here? Is that the final sort of hint that we need that we're going to Villa?
Well, the thing is with Team ONE is that they're once again going basement. They're going back down here again. Keep in mind, they won their kitchen and dining successfully. They won their kids successfully. They're going, once again, laundry, which they have lost before. So it is strange to see them go here once again. And I think for FaZe, do they need this round? I'm trying to think about it, because maybe there's a reason why Team ONE don't want to go upstairs or go into the kitchen again. Maybe there's a reason behind that. It's a tricky one. It's a bit of a prickly conversation to have, because you can look at it from any which way, and I don't really know how it's going to play out.
I agree that it's strange that Team ONE have come back downstairs, given how pressurized this site has been. And FaZe are... I mean, it's fairly obvious from just a bystander to see that FaZe are successful when they attack it from backstairs and bunker, and unsuccessful when they attack it from laundry and freezer. So just off that scathing analysis, it would make sense to go, well, just attack it from backstairs and bunker then. Like, use the hatch, get bunker control, and start to work through. That, I'm not sure if that is going to be the case here. We're seeing Cyber play the Flores, so there could be a bit of room for maneuverability here. He may be looking to remove a couple of those shields and things of that nature. But the big success from the time that FaZe did win this site came off the back of the Monty, and it was off the back of Astro and the plays that he was able to provide in terms of causing disruption in the sites and really pushing hard in through Freezer.
Yeah, Freezer being the name of the game for FaZe right now, and how about, just want to say, you know, question mark? Like, come on, that's happened to him a few times already today.
It's not his finest hour, has it? 8 and 11 currently, and consistently losing that engagement early on. I think that's the biggest problem, isn't it? It's KD aside, it's the consistency in which he's losing that opener. And especially when you're playing in such an important position like those Freezer stairs, you need to be just baiting and keeping yourself alive, wasting nades, wasting stuns, whatever it might be. But again, playing that same Wamai disc that actually killed him last time. It wasn't the Wamai this time, of course, but it was the Wamai catching the nade a couple of rounds ago that saw him sent to the cameras. Early Freezer control lost. Not something that has concerned Team One all too much, as they have often been able to still hold on due to the fact that they've got good positions deeper in the site. There's got to become a time where FaZe are able to really find these openings a little bit easier. 40 seconds left now. What a great deal of time for FaZe to be making those final adjustments or hopping on into the site.
Lost in now, and this is where FaZe are looking for their execute. Alumnus from Astro, though, will actually slip in towards Elbow. This was a place that was not looked at all from FaZe, but once again, it has not worked for them. That's who could trade off those souls, have been able to pick up that kill on the man in Laundry. Cyber doesn't know what to do. The Echo Drone feeding out constant information. Cameraman, of course, is bleeding out on the ground. Lagones will eliminate him, but does take a hefty amount of damage in the meantime. User now being planted. KDS and Lagones have to retake. No more Echo Drones for them. Cyber has to win his engagement, and it's going to be a trade. The impacts go out from Lagones, and that is enough to stem FaZe away from sticking the diffuser. Why did he come off? Why did he come off the diffuser?
Difficult round there. FaZe running out of time. Again, not finding those opportunities. Again, going for that last second push in through Elbow and it being caught out. Team One well aware that that is the plan, that the late rotation in through Elbow is something that FaZe want to try and get away with, and it's not something that is happening under Team One's watch at all here. FaZe switch on to defense in overtime now for themselves. Team One with the momentum. Match point for the first time in this series for them. This being a must-win map here for Team One if they want to keep in the competition. If they want to take us all the way to Villa. A lot of pressure on FaZe Clan in this next 3.5 minutes. Clear leaders throughout the majority of this game as well, and just letting it slip at the final hurdle. Obviously getting attack inside of the overtime. Not ideal, given the way that this game went, given the defender-sided nature of the Oregon that we've seen today.
Look at the kills from either team. This has been a brawl, an all-out war. Neskin has been the standout for me, for obvious reasons. I think him and the defense has just became just so alive. Just a frequent issue, a frequent presence for Team One. FaZe, 2 rounds is what you need to win this series 2-0. Have your defense, which is been your strongest compliment this entire week, has been how good you've looked in the defense. Even if they win that, then I still worry for their attacks, Ollie. FaZe have looked pretty sloppy on these Oregon attacks.
The attacks really haven't been setting the world on fire on Oregon for FaZe. Been a big, big problem point for them this game. Really struggling to just pull 2 out of the bag. Or 2 splits for either side. Especially with the confidence that we're seeing on Team One now. You've got to give them the edge in this one. You've got to give it to them that Villa is a possibility here. FaZe have spread themselves fairly far and wide. We've got Souls just playing at the top of rear stairs. Hatches to be open. A lot for Team One here to do. Drone work being done. Seems as though top floor control has been fully taken. There'd be no real reason for FaZe to be roaming too heavily onto this. They just need to lean into those solid angles the same way that we saw Team One do. Not looking to play cameraman aggressively on Freezer. Instead, he's going to be much further back. Bullet, instead of the deployable shield, is going to be the player that we look toward. The Honor clone there just being removed as the drones continue to work ahead.
To save the ADSs that might be lurking inside a freezer. I think there was one tucked away beside the metal locker, so will be shut down. I think also eliminated by the grenade that rolls in. Not a safe haven anymore for FaZe to sit in. But with a minute to go, Team One are cutting this pretty close. Hatch is still yet to be open also, Wally. That's another worry for them. On 6 will be shot down, and the drone work will start to be applied by Team One. Surely FaZe will start to regrip and communicate with each other. It is a very wild swing, but maybe that's to cover the C4 that was tossed out. KDS goes down. Cameraman, quick snatch and grab. Now 4v4, 30 seconds to go. All this pressure coming down onto Freezer. All this pressure coming down onto Laundry. And Team One have to battle back against it. They don't know somebody's behind the washing machine. No, Levin will find a nade kill. And another one falls. 2 nades for Team One in quick succession. FaZe, what can they do? Can they hold on? It doesn't look to be the case. Diffuser will go down. Levy runs in, eliminates Astro, and Cameraman was upstairs. Of all the places he could have been, that was the area he didn't want to be seen in. Team One, what a comeback. Battling through a massive deficit. And FaZe will tumble. Almost it felt like the final hurdle at times, Ollie. And Team One take us to Villa.
Well, we had a feeling that we were going to be going to Villa today, and that feeling has been realised. Team One, big fight back there. They've come back from 4-2 to take it in overtime, 8 rounds to 6.